Welcome to another garden vlog. So lately I've been feeling like I don't have enough fruit this time of year. You know, despite that, muscadines are kind of in season. Beauty berries are in season. There's still some lingering elderberries. And it seems like the little cattley guavas are in season. And we even got a few Barbados cherries, a few weeks ago. Although I think they may bloom several times based on what I've seen. But the thing is, these are tropical or subtropical and require extra care in the wintertime. So let's just discard them for right now. Not in this area. And people all over this area have been ranting and raving about how good their bananas have been doing this year. This is the first time, people saying this is the first time I've ever had bananas that are going to ripen most likely before a frost hits. And some people are saying that it's just because we only had one day of a hard freeze or whatever last winter versus like 5 days or whatever the winter before. So, that seems legit, but because I have a thing of bananas, even though the tree kind of fell in the hurricane. It wasn't a hurricane here, but it fell, and it still has some bananas that look like they're going to ripen well before a frost is going to hit. See, they're pretty low to the ground, but I'm assuming they'll ripen before, we get a hard freeze or whatever, or frost. Well, there is a pretty rose that did not die in the drought. Yesterday I was out here and these guys weren't even ready, but this morning they're already falling off the ground. These are some of the lemon or yellow cattley guavas. Here's supposed to be a different variety of them. We only have like 2 or 3. These trees probably weren't even 2 years old when they started blooming and producing fruit. Imagine in a couple years when they get a little bit bigger and produce more. But this is something, if you only have a small amount, it seems insignificant. But if we can produce like hundreds of these or whatever every year, this would be the perfect fruit for this time of the season. These are something that, is producing fruit within 2 years. These are something you don't have to graft to get something edible or to make jams or whatever. Anyway, I always talk about how bad I am at taking care of the muscadines, pruning them correctly, for maximum production. And this time of year is full of mosquitoes. So beauty berries, a lot of them, and muscadines, even when they're out there, even figs when they're out there, they kind of get neglected. And we aren't able to pick them because of so much mosquito activity. With that said, they are an option of available, harvest for this time of the season. In the last garden vlog we talked about drought, which we're not going to talk about now, and fig varieties that will extend our season. So Celeste is the early bearing ones, and we need to get ones that'll go into August, if not September, so we can have every few weeks or once a month or whatever, harvest figs from different types of fig trees. So that's muscadines, beauty berries, at least like 3 types of the small guavas, the yellow, the lemon, and the strawberry cattley. One of them is red, 2 of them are yellow, 2 different cultivars of yellow ones, some figs in the future, and also the elderberries. So, does anybody know anything else that would ripen this time of year in August? Maybe there are some Mexican cold hardy avocados or something that would be harvested at this time. Maybe some of the mini dwarf bananas, or the short season bananas, like Cocopo or whatever, and a couple other cultivars. Let's just talk one more time about the cattley guavas, the small guavas. I'm definitely excited about getting those started, somehow taking the fruits and the seeds and hopefully producing my own seedlings, because I think if we can amp up production, and get like 30 or 40 trees out there, and in 5 years' time we can have a whole lot of fruit. I've tried them before in maybe less protected areas, and they die in the winter. So we still have to kind of keep it in that shady, maybe in the wetland zone 1, wetland zone 2 area, where there's a lot of wind protection and all that good stuff. I look forward to getting into those fig adventures a lot as well. But muscadines, call it just like long-term ignorance, where I'm not even going to say that I just am totally ignorant of how to prune and all this stuff, or that I should be pruning them. But I haven't put in enough effort to go clean out everything, to prune everything right, propagate more, muscadine grapes, and to really do it right to get our production high. Because if our production is high enough, I'll be willing to put the mosquito nets on, or the mosquito spray, to go out and collect tons and tons of muscadines. They are really good for jellies. A lot of people, if you have enough, you can sell them at flea markets or anything. Because of the high sugar content, they would probably make a really good syrup as well, maybe for pancakes and stuff, or crepes. Obviously, wines, muscadine wine is a southern wine, that is somewhat popular. It has kind of a niche market. Not that I would be selling wines, but I, might make it a little bit for myself. All right, guys, I think that's it for today's garden vlog. And if you've been watching us for a long time, thanks for watching us and seeing our garden, our wetlands areas evolve. Instead of just trashing that wetland and not using it for anything, we're trying to use it. And these cattley guavas are the perfect thing possible. American persimmons and everything like that should do pretty well here. And cherry of Rio Grande and an assortment of other things. Our production values aren't high. We're not in the high production $1 million studio doing this. We are getting eat up with mosquitoes as we talk and go around the garden and have a normal conversation about things we're doing, things we've done, mistakes we've made, and hopefully plans for the future that will. And I hope our garden endeavors look brighter and brighter every year. We may lose a lot of stuff, but and we're experimenting and learning, and hopefully you can see some of the mistakes we make and you won't make those mistakes. And hopefully the mistakes we have made in the past going forward will be less and less. Hopefully we've learned already a lot to make less mistakes in the future, and hopefully you won't make those mistakes as well. I hope that most of our gardening endeavors start being positive and productive, and that's all we can ask for. Keep learning. It's you learn until you basically are in the ground. If I learn something, I'm sharing it with everybody. And if we all did this, for the last 30, 50, 100 years, if we had YouTube in the 1920s, I'm sure gardening would be much different than it is now. Take care, guys.